Here we will show you how to easily desolder the surface mount Wi-Fi module with cheap soldering iron without using hot air. For this method, you will just need a soldering iron, some flux, some PB solder, and a soldering wick wire. Before we begin, a word of warning. Please try this method first several times on scrap boards and make sure you get it right before tempering your IoT device. Do not attempt this method without flux or without extra solder with low melting temperature. Do not overheat pads. They can break away from the board. Do not apply force while removing Wi-Fi module. It has to be already loose first. Otherwise, you will rip off the pads. Keep PCB and soldering iron tip clean. So, let's start with adding flux to the pads of Wi-Fi module. Then add the PB solder. It has to be PB or maybe even better, cheap quick, because it has low melting temperature. Then gradually heat up both sides of the module. Do not apply force. Module can be removed only when solder melts on both sides and module floats. Done. Now you can clear the pads with soldering wick. Solder wick removes all solder from the pads, so you can solder them again later more easily. It's also good to clear the module itself. Remove excess solder with soldering wick. Now we will solder another module in its place. Make sure that pads are clear before soldering. Add solder to the single pad and then try to catch new module with the pad. Once module position is correct, solder the remaining pads. While soldering, always try to heat up the pads with soldering iron and apply solder to the pad. Do not apply solder to the soldering iron tip. I am at the pad. Excess solder can be removed by dragging soldering iron tip on the pads or, in worst case, by solder wick. We have tested our IoT device with new Wi-Fi module and it works correctly. The operation has succeeded. If you have any questions, please visit our forums. You can also visit our online IoT devices templates database or even submit your own teardown or an article there. See you on the forum!